Hey everyone, it's Jessie Burgart, and thank you so much for joining me. It is day 12 of The Art of Focus by Dan Koe. Let's jump in. As the storm disperses and the sun shines through, we feel at ease. But little do we remember that a storm is not a singular occurrence. This fantastical song cycles through summer, winter, spring, and fall. Highs and lows, high highs and low lows that illustrate the full range of human experience. We tend to yearn for summer during winter and reminisce on cozy winter nights during summer. To escape the cold, we cover our ears so we don't have to hear the lesson that would propel us into a season of growth, prosperity, and enjoyment. Music is beautiful. To reach harmony, multiple vibrations are designed with care. The pluck of a guitar string creates a high note. The repetitive bang of a drum creates a beat, and the bass adds a little punch, maybe throw in a few piano keys here or there. While this song is infinite in nature, it is multifaceted. It is not one sound played at a time, although it very well could be, but not for long. This reflects in your daily life. If you can't focus, tasks, breaks, and that pesky thought about that argument last night could drive you into the brink of insanity. Harmony. The universe is in perfect harmony. You can fight with it or flow with it, and the ego loves to fight with it. The question is, what song is actually playing? And what song are you trying to listen to? On a practical level, this introduces the topic of understanding, clarity, and perception. You wouldn't take one lyric from a song, play it on its own or on repeat in your head, and expect it to make sense. Similarly, you wouldn't take a sentence from someone else's mouth, plug it into your story, and expect it to have the same meaning. Yet, this is what we humans do. We see what we want to see and ignore what allows it to exist, and let negative thoughts flood our minds about how the crazy person is not the one in the mirror. The mind craves order, and if the information you are feeding your mind lacks a cohesive structure, you will become a victim of entropy. What's funny is that all information is interpreted through our worldview and perception, meaning all information that you process through any sense, not just sight, is usually a part of a story that you tell yourself. That piece of information, most of the time, will not make sense in alignment with your conscious, subconscious, or unconscious goals in life. You must extract, test, and think about how the information can be utilized without judgment. If you are in a low point in life, seek to see the big picture. Understand that the lows are not permanent. They are not unique to you, and they are followed by a season of progress. If you listen to the lesson that life is trying to teach you. Cyclical stories. Life unfolds in chapters, phases, and cycles. The universe is one song, but it's also one story and one game. They all have the same structure. There is an introduction, rising action, internal conflict, and a main battle, falling action, and resolution. While one lyric of a song may not make sense on its own, it is still a unit that can fit into another song. Everything is connected. The same holds true for stories. Letters are wholes and parts of words. Then, sentences, paragraphs, sections, and chapters in a potential series of books. Every sentence has a purpose. Every chapter has a purpose. Every book has a purpose. All of these contain accompanying problems standing in the way of clarity. This is how the mind makes sense of the world. If you are lost, it may be that you turn the page into a chapter where the purpose has not yet been made clear. Layers of stories allow us to construct meaning in our lives. A story has purpose that the teachings of each chapter lead to. Some chapters are exciting, others boring. The main character is at the top of the world in one chapter, but at the bottom of the ocean in another. And if we fail to open our focus to realize that the highs can't exist without the lows, our mind struggles to maintain order, and entropy grasps at our sanity. One of the biggest problems in our time is trying to plug the paragraphs of others' stories into our books. It can make sense, but only if you try to see beyond the literal interpretation of words. Advice, education, and conversation must be interpreted from a shared purpose for it to retain its maximum value. If this shared purpose is not found, the words won't register, and arguments, problems, and emotions begin to take over. Order does not apply to an individual mind, but collective as well. Does not only apply to an individual mind, but collective as well. We invented language by turning images into symbols, symbols into words, words into paragraphs, and so on. All understanding is metaphorical, and you can find deep lessons by seeking to understand the situation at hand, no matter how much your ego doesn't want you to. The structure of stories reflects on all planes of existence that impact human behavior from top down. There is a solar and lunar eclipse. We've noted patterns in the stars to represent astrological symbols that shift with the calendar. I'm a Libra, by the way. In our world, there are four seasons: winter, spring, summer, and fall. While these seasons cannot speak words, they are symbolic of so much more. It does not take much mental effort to understand the feelings, purpose, and behavior that each season contains. In culture, there are holidays like Halloween. We join in spirit to celebrate an idea, and our actions follow the purpose or goal that the holiday presents. I've seen some questionable costumes. Children interpret this holiday as having the purpose of acquiring the most candy possible. Others interpret it with the purpose of letting loose and attracting a mate. Every collective cycle, story, or phase can be interpreted by one in a different way than another, depending on where they are at personally. In society, there are political seasons that get people a bit too emotional. There's a tax season that raises the stress of every individual, no matter their income. These strong, unconscious emotions influence your behavior, and if that behavior is bad, it goes on to reproduce in minds across the globe. If behavior changes on a large enough scale, it can influence the health of society, culture, and even the cosmos at large. Your actions have impact. All right, thank you for joining me today, and hopefully I get to see you tomorrow too. Ciao.